From that weird pressure in your chest that you thought was just indigestion, to your jaw suddenly aching for no reason, to breaking out in a cold sweat while sitting on your couch, this is how to survive a heart attack when there's nobody around to help you. And spoiler, while some people call 911 immediately and live to tell the story, others wait to see if it gets better and die alone in their bedroom. It's midnight, you're by yourself. Your chest hurts in a way that feels wrong. Your phone's charging in the kitchen. You've got about 10 minutes before your heart starts dying for real. And what you do in those 10 minutes? That's the difference between reading this and being found 3 days later by a concerned neighbor. Here's your survival guide. So, what is a heart attack? It's when one of the arteries feeding your heart gets blocked, usually by a blood clot, and suddenly part of your heart muscle stops getting oxygen. Basically, your heart starts dying. Like when your Wi-Fi router loses power and everything goes dead. Except instead of losing Netflix, you're losing the pump that keeps you alive. The medical term is myocardial infarction, which literally translates to heart muscle death. Not great. Here's what's happening. Inside your coronary arteries, you've got buildup of plaque, cholesterol, and other gunk stuck to your artery walls. Most of the time, this plaque just sits there, being annoying. But sometimes, a chunk ruptures, your body freaks out, and sends platelets to patch the tear, forming a blood clot. That clot can completely block the artery. No blood flow means no oxygen. No oxygen means your heart muscle cells start dying within minutes. Now here's the critical part. You have about 10 minutes before permanent damage really accelerates. That's not 10 minutes until you die. That's 10 minutes until dead heart tissue starts piling up fast. Every minute you wait, more of your heart dies. And dead heart muscle doesn't come back, ever. Studies show that if you get treatment within 60 minutes, your survival rate jumps to over 90%. Wait 3 hours? Maybe 40–50% survival. Wait until morning because you thought it was indigestion? A lot of people don't make it to morning. Heart attack versus cardiac arrest, critical difference. A heart attack is a plumbing problem. Your pipes are blocked. Cardiac arrest is an electrical problem. Your heart's rhythm goes haywire and stops beating. You can have a heart attack and still be conscious. Talking. Walking around. Cardiac arrest? You drop like someone cut your power cord. The scary part, a heart attack can lead to cardiac arrest if enough heart dies or the electrical system gets disrupted. You're racing against two clocks, the permanent damage clock and the sudden death clock. What does it feel like? Most people describe crushing chest pressure, like an elephant sitting on their ribs, but it's not always dramatic. Some feel weird chest tightness. Some get pain radiating down their left arm, up into their jaw, between shoulder blades. Some just feel nauseous and sweaty. Women especially get less obvious symptoms: fatigue, back pain, that something's wrong feeling. About 25% of heart attacks are silent. You have one and don't realize it. Heart muscle dies, you feel off, you think you're tired. But you're having the obvious kind. Chest crushing, arm tingling, cold sweat. You're alone at 2 a.m. You've got 10 minutes before serious damage racks up. Okay, so now you know what's happening. But you're still alone. Your chest is on fire. And maybe 10 minutes before things get really bad. Here's what you do first. First, call 911. Not your mom. Not your neighbor. Not your best friend who's a nurse. 911. Phones across the room? Crawl to it. Think you're overreacting? You're not. Embarrassed about calling an ambulance for maybe nothing? Your heart is dying. Call 911. Why? Paramedics need a head start. They're not sitting outside your house. They need to get dispatched, grab gear, drive to you, find your address, get inside. Every second you delay is a second they're not on their way. When you call, say, "I think I'm having a heart attack." Don't downplay it. Don't say chest discomfort. Say the words, chest pain, left arm numb, trouble breathing. Whatever you're feeling. They'll ask if you're alone. Say yes. You're now 1–2 minutes in. Next, aspirin. Right now, 325 milligrams. One full-strength aspirin. Only have baby aspirin? Take 4. 481 mg tablets gets you 324 mg. Close enough. Critical part, chew it. Don't swallow whole. Put it in your mouth and chew it up. Yeah, it tastes like bitter chalk mixed with sadness. Do it anyway. Chewing gets aspirin into your bloodstream faster. What aspirin does, stops your blood from clotting as easily. That clot blocking your artery, aspirin slows its growth. Won't dissolve the clot, but buys you minutes by keeping it from getting worse. Studies show taking aspirin during a heart attack reduces death risk by about 25%. That's huge. Have nitroglycerin prescribed. Take that too. Under your tongue, let it dissolve. It opens blood vessels. Don't have it? Don't waste time. Aspirin is key. Do not take ibuprofen or Tylenol. They won't help. Ibuprofen can make things worse by interfering with aspirin. Only aspirin. You're now 2-3 minutes in. Next. Unlock your front door. Get up. Walk to it. Unlock it. Deadbolt. Chain. Whatever. Open everything. Why? When you pass out real possibility, paramedics can't help if they can't get inside. They'll break down your door or wait for police. That's 5-10 extra minutes of your heart dying while they stand outside. But what if someone breaks in? You're having a heart attack. A burglar is not your biggest problem. Unlock the door. Turn on your porch light if it's dark. Make it easy for them. Now get to the floor near your front door. Lie on your back. Not in your bedroom, not on the couch. Near the front door, where they'll see you immediately. Why the floor? If you collapse, you're not falling. And CPR is easier on hard surfaces than mattresses. Keep your phone in hand. Stay on the line with dispatch if possible. You've used 3-4 minutes. Called 911. Chewed aspirin. Unlocked door. Positioned yourself. Paramedics are 5-7 minutes out. But inside your chest, things are getting worse fast. While you're lying there waiting, here's the nightmare happening inside your chest. Your heart needs oxygen to work. It gets that oxygen from blood pumped through coronary arteries. Right now, one of those arteries is blocked. So a section of your heart muscle isn't getting any oxygen at all. Without oxygen, those cells start dying. Fast. In the first 3 minutes, your heart muscle cells are starving. They're switching to anaerobic metabolism, basically trying to survive without oxygen, like holding your breath underwater. You can do it for a little while, but not forever. By minute 5 or 6, cells are dying, not all at once, but in waves. The longer this goes on, the more cells you lose. Dead heart muscle doesn't regenerate, it becomes scar tissue. Non-functional tissue that doesn't contract, doesn't pump, just sits there being useless. Here's the math. For every 30 minutes of delay, you lose about 10% more of the affected heart muscle. Wait an hour? That's 20% more damage. Wait 3 hours? You could lose 60% of that section. Even if you survive, your heart's pumping efficiency is permanently compromised. But the real danger isn't just dying muscle. It's what happens to your heart's electrical system. Your heart beats because of electrical signals traveling through it in a specific pattern. When part of your heart muscle is dying, those signals can go haywire. Your heart rhythm destabilizes. You can go into ventricular fibrillation when your heart just quivers uselessly instead of beating. Like a bag of worms squirming around instead of a pump. Ventricular fibrillation is cardiac arrest. You're no longer conscious. Your brain stops getting blood. You've got maybe 4 or 5 minutes before brain damage starts. After 10 minutes without intervention, you're done. This is why people suddenly drop dead from heart attacks. It's not always muscle damage that kills you. It's the electrical chaos. What you're feeling? Chest pain probably getting worse. You're sweating, cold and clammy. You might feel nauseous, like you're going to throw up. You might feel short of breath, like you can't get a full lungful of air. Some people describe a sense of impending doom. This overwhelming feeling that something catastrophically bad is happening. That last one, that's not paranoia. That's your body's early warning system screaming. Your heart is also working harder to compensate. Trying to pump faster, beat stronger, maintain blood pressure. But that increased workload requires more oxygen, and you don't have any extra oxygen to spare. Brutal cycle. Your heart needs more oxygen but can't get it, which makes things worse, which makes your heart work harder, which makes things even worse. This is why panic is dangerous. Panic dumps adrenaline. Adrenaline makes your heart race. But your heart can't handle that extra demand. So staying calm isn't feel-good advice, it's survival strategy. The aspirin you chewed is helping, keeping that clot from growing bigger. But it can't dissolve what's blocking your artery. It's buying you time, slowing the disaster. Not fixing anything. You're maybe 5-6 minutes into this nightmare. Paramedics are probably 3-4 minutes out. You've done everything right so far. But here's what you can do while you wait to actually keep yourself alive. You're alone, you're terrified, and you've got maybe 5 minutes to keep yourself alive. Here's your survival checklist. First, breathe. Slow, deep breaths. In through your nose for 4 counts, out through your mouth for 6. Not because it'll fix your heart, but because it maintains oxygen levels and prevents hyperventilating. When you panic and gasp, you actually get less oxygen to your brain and heart. So force yourself to breathe slowly. It feels wrong. Your body wants to panic. Override that instinct. Stay on the line with 911 dispatch. They're timing your condition, noting changes, alerting paramedics if things worsen. If symptoms change, pain gets sharper, spreads somewhere new, you feel faint, tell them immediately. They'll ask questions that seem irrelevant. Your age, medical history, medications. Answer them. This information gets relayed to paramedics. Now, here's something controversial. Cough, CPR. Some emergency docs recommend it. Others say it's unproven. Theory. If you feel like you're passing out, cough hard and forcefully every few seconds. The idea is forceful coughing increases chest pressure, which helps maintain blood flow to your brain and heart. Does it work? Evidence is mixed. But if you're alone and starting to feel faint, it might buy you an extra minute or 2 of consciousness. And consciousness is everything when you're alone. Each cough creates a pressure wave that squeezes your heart and forces some blood out. Not as good as actual CPR, but better than nothing. If you try it, cough every 3-5 seconds, deep breath in, then forceful cough. Repeat until you feel more alert or help arrives. Your position matters. You're already on your back on the floor, which is good. If you can, elevate your legs slightly. Prop them on a couch cushion if one's nearby. This helps blood flow back to your heart and brain. But don't get up to find something. Only do this if you can reach something without moving much. Stay conscious. Your body wants to shut down. You might feel drowsy, like you want to close your eyes for a second. Don't fight that urge. Keep your eyes open. Keep talking to the dispatcher. Count your breaths. Do mental math. Whatever it takes to stay alert. If you pass out before paramedics arrive, survival odds drop significantly. Unconscious person alone during a heart attack has maybe 10-20% survival rate. Conscious person? Closer to 70-80% if help is coming. Do not get up and walk around. Movement increases your heart's oxygen demand, and you have 0 to spare. Do not drink water. Won't help and you might choke if you lose consciousness. Do not take more aspirin. You already took the dose. More won't help faster. If you need to throw up, throw up. Don't fight it. Nausea is common. Turn your head to the side so you don't choke, then get back into position. You're now 6-7 minutes in. Paramedics should be close. You might hear sirens soon. You've done everything right. But here's the thing, most people don't do what you just did, and that's what kills them. So here's what kills most people, and it's not the heart attack itself, it's what they do in those first 10 minutes. Mistake number 1. I'll just lie down for a minute. They go to their bedroom, get into bed, figure they'll rest until they feel better. Then, they pass out. Alone. In a room far from the front door. When paramedics arrive, they search the house to find them. Average delay, 4-7 minutes. In that time, the person's either gone into cardiac arrest or accumulated so much damage they don't make it. ER doctors say this is the most common fatal mistake. Mistake number 2. Driving yourself to the hospital. Sounds logical, right? Hospital is 10 minutes away. Why wait? Here's why. You can go into cardiac arrest behind the wheel. Your heart stops, you lose consciousness, now you're piloting a 2-ton missile through traffic. People crash into other cars, drive off bridges, hit pedestrians. Even if you don't crash, you're dying in traffic, while paramedics who could have brought life-saving equipment are stuck in the same jam. Statistics show people who drive themselves have 40% higher mortality than people who call 911. Mistake number 3. Waiting to see if it gets better. It's probably just indigestion or a pulled muscle. I'll give it 20 minutes. Average person waits 3-5 hours before calling for help. 3 to 5 hours. By that point, massive sections of their heart are dead. Even if they survive, they're looking at permanent heart failure. Time is heart muscle. Every minute you wait, you lose more. Mistake number 4. Calling a family member instead of 911. Let me call my daughter, she lives close. So you waste 5 minutes explaining you don't feel well. She panics, drives over in 8 minutes. Now she calls 911 from your house. You've wasted 13 minutes. Could have had paramedics there in 7. Family members can't restart your heart. Paramedics can. Mistake number 5. Taking the wrong medication. They pop Tums for heartburn or take ibuprofen for chest pain. None of this helps. Ibuprofen actively makes things worse by interfering with blood clotting. The only medication that helps is aspirin. That's it. Mistake number 6. Denial. I'm too young for a heart attack. I'm too healthy. I exercise. This can't be happening to me. But heart attacks don't care about your self-image. About 20% of victims are under 50. Some are in their 30 seconds. Some are marathon runners. Main character syndrome won't save you. Mistake number 7. Getting up to do one last thing. Let me put the dog outside. Let me turn off the stove. They stand up, walk across the house, collapse in a hallway far from the phone. Now they're unconscious in a random location, and nobody's coming because nobody knows they need help. The pattern? All these mistakes come from the same impulse. People don't want to believe they're dying. They don't want to make a fuss. They're embarrassed. So they wait. They minimize. They rationalize. And they die alone because they were too polite to call for help. Studies estimate about 60% of heart attack deaths happen because of delayed treatment. Not because the heart attack was too severe. Because people waited too long. But here's the crazy part. People survive heart attacks all the time, even when things look hopeless. But for every tragedy, there's someone who survived against insane odds. Take this guy from Ohio. 52 years old, home alone, massive heart attack at 3 a.m. He called 911 immediately, chewed aspirin, unlocked his door, laid down by the entrance. Paramedics arrived in 6 minutes. He had 100% blockage in his left anterior descending artery, the one they call the widowmaker, because it's usually fatal. But because he acted so fast, they got him to the hospital, opened the artery with a stent, and he walked out 3 days later with less than 5% permanent damage. Doctors credited his survival to those first 6 minutes. Then there's this woman in Texas who was alone when her heart attack hit. She'd read about cough CPR online, so when she felt faint, she coughed forcefully every few seconds for 8 straight minutes, until paramedics arrived. The technique is controversial. Some cardiologists say it's unproven, but she stayed conscious. Paramedics found her alert and responsive, and she made a full recovery. Medical reports confirmed she'd used cough CPR to maintain just enough blood pressure to stay awake. Or the guy who had a heart attack in a hospital parking lot, visiting a friend when chest pain hit. He collapsed 50 feet from the ER entrance. Doctors reached him in under 2 minutes. That timing saved his life. He had severe blockages that would have killed him anywhere else, but because he was already at the hospital, they had him in the cath lab within 10 minutes of symptom onset. Sometimes, location is everything. Here's another. Woman living alone, heart attack at night, managed to call 911 but then passed out. Her neighbor heard the 911 call through their shared wall and broke down the door. The neighbor, who'd taken a CPR class years ago, started chest compressions. Paramedics arrived to find her unconscious, but with a pulse, thanks to 4 minutes of bystander CPR. She survived with minimal brain damage. This is why CPR training matters. Survival rates double when someone does compressions before paramedics arrive. The golden hour concept: if you get to a hospital within 60 minutes of symptom onset, survival odds jump to over 90%. Modern cardiac catheterization labs can open blocked arteries incredibly fast. They thread a catheter up through your femoral artery, find the blockage, inflate a balloon, place a stent. The whole procedure takes 20-30 minutes, but it only works if you get there in time. Automated external defibrillators, AEDs, are everywhere now. Airports, malls, gyms, schools. If someone goes into cardiac arrest and someone grabs an AED, within 3-5 minutes, survival rates jump from 10% to 70%. These devices are idiot-proof. You open them, they tell you exactly what to do, and they won't shock unless the person needs it. Thousands of people are alive because someone grabbed an AED. What makes survivors different? 3 things: speed of recognition, immediate action, and often luck with location or timing. The survivors recognized something was seriously wrong and didn't waste time second-guessing. They called 911 within minutes, not hours. They took aspirin immediately. They positioned themselves for rescue. But even the lucky ones did the right things first. Luck only matters if you give it a chance to work. Medical research shows the single biggest predictor of heart attack survival isn't age, overall health, or severity of blockage. It's time to treatment. Get treatment fast, you probably survive. Wait too long, you probably don't. So survival is possible, even likely if you do it right. But here's what's changed in the last 20 years that makes your odds even better. If you had a heart attack in 1985, you'd probably die. In 2005, maybe 50-50. Today, your odds are way better. Back in the 80 seconds, if you showed up at the ER with a heart attack, they'd give you aspirin, maybe morphine for pain, and basically wait to see if you survived. If you needed surgery, they'd crack your chest open for bypass, which took hours and had brutal recovery. Overall survival rate? About 40%. Fast forward to 2025. Modern medicine has changed the game. First, stent technology. When you arrive now, they don't need open-heart surgery. They thread a tiny catheter up through an artery in your groin or wrist, navigate it to your heart, find the blockage, inflate a balloon to open the artery, place a metal mesh stent to keep it open. Whole procedure takes 30-45 minutes. You're awake the whole time, just under local anesthesia. You walk out 1-2 days later instead of spending weeks recovering from having your chest cut open. This procedure is called percutaneous coronary intervention, or PCI. It's the gold standard. Second, clot-busting drugs. If you can't get to a cath lab fast enough, doctors can give you thrombolytic medications, drugs that dissolve blood clots. Medications like tissue plasminogen activator, or TPA. These can restore blood flow within minutes. Not as good as stents, but they buy crucial time if you're in a rural area. Third, the door-to-balloon protocol. Modern ERs have specialized STEMI teams: ST elevation, myocardial infarction, the most severe type. These teams are on call 24/7. Goal is door-to-balloon time under 90 minutes from the moment you walk into the ER to the moment they inflate that balloon in your artery. Most top hospitals average 60 minutes or less. That's insanely fast compared to 20 years ago. Fourth, technology in your pocket. Your smartphone can literally save your life now. Apps can detect irregular heartbeats and alert you before a heart attack. Some phones have built-in ECG monitors. If you do have a heart attack, your phone can automatically alert emergency contacts, share your location with 911, and guide bystanders through CPR. Smartwatches are even crazier. Apple Watch and Fitbit can detect atrial fibrillation, a heart rhythm disorder that dramatically increases heart attack risk. There are documented cases of people getting alerts from their watch, going to the ER, discovering they were hours away from a major cardiac event. The watch literally saved their lives by catching the problem early. Fifth, public AED networks. Automated external defibrillators are everywhere. Airports, malls, office buildings, gyms, schools. Anyone even with zero training, can use them. Studies show when bystanders use an AED within 3-5 minutes of cardiac arrest, survival rates jump from 10% to 70%. That's massive. Modern survival statistics: recognize symptoms and call 911 immediately. Reach a hospital within 60 minutes, your survival rate is over 90%. Get treatment within 90 minutes, you're looking at 85%. Even at 2 hours, you've still got a 70% shot. Compare that to the 1,980 seconds, when overall survival was around 40%, and it's night and day. But these statistics only apply if you actually make it to the hospital. Rural areas with long ambulance response times still have much higher mortality. Some places, paramedics might be 30-45 minutes away. Geography still kills people. And in the US, there's the cost factor. Ambulance rides can cost thousands, ER visits, tens of thousands. Full treatment with stents and hospital stay, easily $50,000, $100,000 without insurance. Some people literally die because they're afraid of the bill. Pretty grim. But if you can access modern medical care quickly, your odds are better than they've ever been in human history. Technology is on your side. Protocols are optimized. Paramedics are better trained. Hospitals are faster. You just have to recognize the signs and act immediately. Which brings us to the final protocol: everything you need to remember if this happens to you. So here's what we know about surviving a heart attack when you're alone. If you act immediately, survival rate is over 90%. If you wait, it drops to maybe 40%. The difference between those numbers? What you do in the first 10 minutes. The pattern is clear. People who survive recognize symptoms, call 911 within 2 minutes, chew aspirin, unlock the door, position themselves near entrance, stay conscious, wait for help. People who die convince themselves it's nothing, wait to see if it gets better, call family instead of 911, drive themselves, or pass out somewhere paramedics can't find them. Time is everything. Every minute of delay costs you about 10% more heart muscle. Wait an hour, you've lost significant function. Wait 3 hours, you might survive, but quality of life tanks. Wait until morning, you probably don't wake up. Here's your protocol. Call 911 first, not after you do anything else. First, tell them you're having a heart attack. Tell them you're alone. Stay on the line. Take 325 milligrams of aspirin. Chew it, don't swallow whole. Only have baby aspirin? Take 4. This slows clot growth. Unlock your front door. Deadbolt, chain, everything. Turn on porch light. Paramedics need to get to you fast. Lie down on the floor near your front door. On your back, not in your bedroom, not on your couch. Right by the entrance, where they'll see you immediately. Breathe slowly. In for 4 counts, out for 6. Don't hyperventilate, don't panic. Force yourself to stay calm. Stay conscious. Fight the urge to close your eyes. Keep talking to the dispatcher. Count your breaths, whatever it takes to stay awake. Do not get up and move around. Do not drive yourself. Do not wait to see if it passes. Do not call your family before 911. Warning signs. Crushing chest pressure, lasting more than 5 minutes. Pain radiating down your left arm. Up into your jaw. Between shoulder blades. Shortness of breath. Cold sweat. Nausea. That overwhelming sense something is catastrophically wrong. If you feel these symptoms for more than 5 minutes, assume it's a heart attack. Call 911. Don't wait to be sure. Risk factors. Higher risk if you're over 45, have family history of heart disease, have diabetes, smoke, have high blood pressure, or high cholesterol. But young, healthy people have heart attacks too. Don't assume you're immune. Gender matters. Women's symptoms are often different. More likely to have nausea, back pain, extreme fatigue, vague, something's wrong feeling, instead of obvious chest pain. If you're a woman and something feels seriously off, don't dismiss it. The stats. About 805,000 Americans have heart attacks every year. About 200,000 die. Of the deaths, Roughly 60% happen because of delayed treatment. Not because the heart attack was too severe. Because people waited too long. Average person waits 3-5 hours before seeking help. That's 3-5 hours of heart muscle dying. But if you get to a hospital within 60 minutes, the golden hour, you've got 90% plus survival rate with minimal permanent damage. Modern medicine can save you. Stents can open your artery in 30 minutes. Clot-busting drugs can restore blood flow fast. The technology exists. You just have to get there in time. So here's the scenario one more time. You're alone, it's 2 a.m., your chest feels like it's being crushed, your left arm's tingling, you're sweating and nauseous. Your phone's across the room. Don't wait, don't second guess, don't think it'll pass. Crawl to your phone, call 911. Chew aspirin, unlock the door, get on the floor by the entrance, breathe, stay awake. Those 10 minutes? They're the difference between reading this and becoming a statistic. Most people who die alone from heart attacks don't die from the heart attack itself. They die from waiting